We're talking about 10 books that screwed up the world. The book by Dr. Benjamin Weicker is available through the Ministry of the Christian Research Institute. Check it out on the web, equip.org. One of those books, and it ought to be on your radar screen, is Mein Kampf. It was written back in 1925. Unfortunately, many people have read books about Adolf Hitler, but not all that many have actually read his Mein Kampf. And as a result, we often have this distorted view that Hitler was an evil madman. In fact, he was an evil genius. And there is a difference. This is not a distinction without a difference. It's a real difference, because a madman is driven by mania, while a genius is driven by a malignant worldview, which is precisely what Hitler had. So if we characterize Hitler an evil genius, we should likewise remember that his genius was largely borrowed. It was borrowed from Darwin and Nietzsche and Machiavelli. But that evil was characteristically his own. Philosophically, you could say his animus towards capitalism caused him to throw his entire life force into socialism. He chastised industrialists and the bourgeoisie for creating the poverty of the lower classes, and then believed the Jews were ultimately to be blamed for that oppression. His moral outlook on life was, well, I would call it a form of spiritualized Darwinism. Though he was anti-Christian, he saw spirituality as useful as long as it supported his biases. Liberal Christianity, of course, with its flexible doctrine, with its flexible morality, and with its emphasis on curing social ills, that, on the other hand, was particularly useful to him. The other side of the coin is important to communicate as well, and that is that conservative Christianity, because it expressed opposition to dogmas such as eugenics, he, of course, loathed. Part of the warp of his soul was the belief that he had seen the entire truth about the Jews. He saw that in his mind in an experience that he had in Vienna early on, and also from reading the scientifically worthless racial theorists touting the glories of the Aryans and absorbing the Darwinism that was so forcibly preached back in German universities and back then through the popular press as well. He wanted to believe that the Jews were the cause of every evil, not only because he had this sinful hatred of the Jews, but also because he needed some single, simple thing that caused all evil, real or imagined, that he, like some omniscient, omnipotent deity, could remove. He wanted to be the savior of humanity. He ended up being its most infamous excrescence of evil. Get the book, far more detailed than what I've just given you. I've just given you a summary. The detail, though, is significant because the devil's always involved in the details. Benjamin Weicker lays this out beautifully in a readable format. The book available for those who support the Ministry of the Christian Research Institute. Just check it out on the web at equip.org or write me at Post Office Box 8500, Charlotte, North Carolina, zip code 28271.